Good morning, ma'am. We are the Group 1 and we're gonna report the security planning and physical security. The first reporter is Christian Pasalo.
Good morning, ma'am. Security planning. Security planning is a strategies process focused on identifying potential risks, developing policies, and implementing procedures to protect an organization assets, employees, information, and reputation. It involves setting security objects, assessing vulnerabilities, and creating a framework for detecting, responding to, and mitigating security threat. Physical security. Security focuses on protecting people, assets, and facilities from physical threat, such as unauthorized access, theft, vandalism, and natural disaster. It encompasses a variety of measures designed to control and limit access, as well as to protect against direct physical threat.
The next reporter is Dominic Del Campo.
Physical security and barriers are two of the most important components in security management that intends to prevent people, property, and data from being accessed, harmed, or destroyed by other individuals. Deterrence method. The first of the physical security implementation is the use of unintrusive barrier. Physical barriers. They are fences, walls, gates, vehicle barriers, and trenches reach a higher level of security. Security lighting area. Security lighting. Areas lit up are less appealing because they leave little or no room for an intruder to hide. Warning signs. Mere passing glance attempt can be discouraged by means of signs showing that there is security for instance cameras or restricted entry. Detection and surveillance. Once the potential attackers have bypassed the initial deterrence measures, the next layer focuses on detection and surveillance. Alarm system and sensors. These systems employs different perceivers such as perimeter perceivers, motion perceivers, contact perceivers, and glass break perceivers. Video surveillance. This is because CCTV cameras act as a monitor to document the activity of the intruder. Intrusion detection system. This system employs the use of sensors as well as software to enable detection of illicit access or persistent activity in a secured region. Access control. The third layer of physical security concentrations or controlling access, meaning controlling entrance to the facility and mobility within the facility. Mechanical access control systems. This includes locks, doors, gates, and turnstiles which offer physical barrier to access by an unauthorized persons. Electronic access control system. These systems use electronic credentials such as access cards or biometric identification system. This system use badges, cards, and form of identification. Security personnel. Security guards are trained personnel whose duty includes keeping and watch and enforcing restriction responding to alerts and regarding facilities, response and recovery. The last type of physical security layer deals with response and recovery. Emergency response plans. These plans outline procedures for handling various security incidents, including evacuation, lockdown, and reunification. Security training. Regular training for security personnel and employees. Post-incident investigation. After a security breach, a thorough investigation is conducted to identify vulnerabilities.
The purpose of a perimeter barrier is to establish a physical boundary around a specific area or property for security, safety, and privacy. It serves several functions. 1. Security. A perimeter barrier helps to prevent unauthorized access to a site, protecting it from theft, vandalism, or trespassing. Safety. It can keep people and animals away from hazardous areas such as construction zones, industrial facilities, or military sites. Privacy. A perimeter barriers provide privacy for residential properties or businesses, shielding them from public view. Number 4, control access. It can regulate the flow of people or vehicles entering or exiting a premises, often in conjunction with gates, entry points, or personal aesthetic or branding. In some cases, perimeter barriers are used to enhance the visual appeal or branding of a property, such as in the case of gated communities or corporate campuses. In overall, a perimeter barrier is a critical element in protecting property, controlling access, and maintaining order.
I'm Jan Angelo Vergara and I'm gonna report the types of perimeter barrier. Number 1, solid fence. A solid fence offers a complete seclusion and security because there are no gaps between the panels or boards. It is commonly used on residential and commercial properties to screen the view from the outside and keep the pets or children in a yard. Solid fence can be formed of variety of materials, including wood, vinyl, metal, and composite. They are popular because to their longevity, visual appeal, and noise reduction capabilities. Traditional hardwood panels, vertical board fences, and modern vinyl or metal sheets are all common forms. Ma'am, yung example po ng solid fence ay yung nasa picture po. Next one. Number 2, full view fence. Full view fence is a type of fencing that is intended to provide maximum visibility while also acting as a boundary or enclosure. It often employs materials like as glass, wire mesh, or space pickets to provide an opening appearance, allowing for a clear view of the surroundings. These fences are ideal for houses with picturesque views, gardens, or pools who want to keep their attractiveness while also assuring safety or designating property limits. May example po ng full view fence ay yung nasa picture po. Thank you, ma'am. The next reporter is Ivan Kakam.
Suggested perimeter barrier requirements. Number 1. Physical barrier feature requirement. Use durable, weather-resistant materials like chain link, welded mesh, steel, or concrete. Height, minimum 6-8 feet for general security. 10-12 feet for high security zone. Anti-climb features include barbed wire, razor wire, or anklet fence top. Underground extension. Extend barrier 1 to 2 feet underground. Physical barrier feature. A strong physical barrier serve as the first line of defense, deterring unauthorized access. Anti-climb features make scaling the barrier difficult while undergoing extension prevent tunneling. Number 2. Secure access points. Requirement. Install lockable gates with access control systems such as electronic keypads or biometric readers. Vehicle barriers. Use bollards, crush-rated gates, or retractable barriers. Pedestrian entry control. Turnstile or controlled gates for individual access. Security access point are the most vulnerable area, securing them with advanced access control system ensure only authorized personnel or vehicle can enter. Pedestrian controls help regulate foot traffic and prevent tailgating. Number 3. Number 3, surveillance and detection system. CCTV cameras deploy definition cameras with night vision at key location. Motion sensor and alarm installed along the perimeter to detect breach. Lighting use continuous or motion activated lighting to eliminate dark spot. Surveillance and detection system provide real-time monitor and early warning of intrusion attempts, enabling fastest response times. Lighting deters intruders and improves visibility for cameras and security. Number 4, warning signage. Requirement, place visible signs such as no trespassing, restricted area, or CCTV in operation. Placement, ensure signage is positioned at regular intervals and near access point. Warning signs serve as psychological deterrents, discouraging potential intruders by signaling that the area is monitored and access is restricted. Number 5, emergency and maintenance provision. Emergency exit include control emergency gates with panic bars or quick release mechanism. Routine maintenance regularly inspect and repair fence gate, cameras, and sensor. Vegetation management. Trim bushes and trees to maintain clear sight lines. Emergency exits allow for safe evacuation during crisis without compromising security. Regular maintenance ensures all components remain functional and vegetation control prevents hiding spots or obstruction. Number 6. Standard and compliance. Building code adhere to locate regulation for fence height, materials, and placement. Industry standard following international guidelines for material durability and installation. Compliance ensure that barriers meet safety and quality requirements, avoiding legal issues and optimizing security effectiveness. Number 7, anti-tunneling and anti-tampering measure. Requirement, add underground sensor or extend barrier below ground. Tamper-resistant hardware, use bolts and fasteners designed to resist removal or tampering. Anti-tunneling measure prevent breaches from underground while tamper-resist hardware ensure barriers cannot be easily dismantled. Number 8. Psychological and physical deterrence. Visible security present employing security guards or patrol around the perimeter. Landscape design use thorny plants and clearly open space near barriers to discourage approach. A visible security presence and deterrent landscaping reinforce the barrier effectiveness, making the area appear well monitored and difficult to breach.
The next reporter is Jadway Serna.
My report is contents of security planning. Number 1, risk assessment. Risk assessment is identifying potential risks and evaluating their likelihood and impact. Example of this is a hospital may identify the risk of a cyber attack on its patient record system. Number 2, asset identification. Asset identification determining what assets need protection like data, physical equipment, or intellectual property. Example is a company might list its computer database, software, and employees as critical assets. Number 3, security policies. Security policies developing rules and guidelines to govern security practices within the organization. Example of security policies is implementing a password policy requiring complex password, and regular updates. Number 4, access control. Access control is establishing who has access to what resource, limiting access based on roles and responsibilities. Example of access control is only IT personnel have administrative access to the network service. And number 5, incident response plan. Incident response plan is a preparing a detailed plan for responding to security breaches or incident. Example of incident response plan is having a documented process for notifying stakeholders and securing system in case of data breach. Number 6, employee training. Employee training is educating employees on security practice and protocols. Examples of employee training is regular phishing awareness training to prevent employees from falling for email scams. Number 7, monitoring and auditing. Monitoring and auditing is continuously monitoring system and conducting regular audits to detect and address vulnerabilities. Example of monitoring and auditing is setting up alerts for unauthorized login attempts and reviewing them monthly. And lastly, disaster recovery and business continuity. It is a planning for quick recovery for incidents to maintain operation. Example of this is a backup system for critical data and a plan to operate remotely in case of a physical disaster. Yan lamang po. Thank you po.
The next reporter is Chadrick Corpus.
So, this is the key steps in planning. Assessment threats, identify your organization's unique risks and vulnerability, and how a security breach could impact your organization. So, assessment threats, dapat alamin ng ang maaaring panganib at kahinaan ng iyong organisasyon at kung paano makakaapekto ang security breach, mga pag-hack o pag-access sa isang lugar nang walang pahintulot sa isang organisasyon. Next is plan for emergencies. Prepare for potential security incidents such as natural disasters by developing an emergency response plan. So dapat maghanda sa mga posibleng mangyaring security accidents gaya ng natural disasters or baha at paglindol sa paraan ng pagbuo ng plano para sa mga emergencies. Next. Implement access control. Use key cards or biometric systems to limit access to certain areas. So, kailangan din gumamit ng mga key cards o biometrics system upang malimitahan ang pagpasok sa isang lugar. Next is use security personnel, hire security guards and patrols to deter criminals and respond to security incidents. So, kailangan din nilang mag-hire ng security guards at mga patrol para mapigilan ang mga kriminal upang magbantay sa mga aksidente against sa security. Then, next is use alarm systems. Install alarm systems to alert personnel and deter intruders. So, kailangan din na magkabit ng mga alarm system para alertuhan ang mga tauhan at para mapigilan ang mga nanghihimasok. Next is manage risk. Understand the type of uncertainty you might face and how to deal with them. So, dapat alamin ang mga uri ng hindi siguradong desisyon na pwedeng harapin at kung paano ito malulutas. Next. Next is implement a security strategy. Create a protective security policies that cover governance, personnel information, and physical security. So, gumagawa sila ng mga rules para sa seguridad ng mga na nagpoprotekta against sa pamahalaan, tauhan, impormasyon at physical na security. Next is use environmental controls. Use fire suppression system and temperature control to mitigate environmental risks. So gumagamit ng mga bagay na pangpatay sa sunog at pagkontrol ng klima para mabawasan ang mga panganib sa paligid. Lastly is use surveillance, use remote CCTV monitoring to enhance security. Physical security is the collection of actions taken to protect company assets such as data, hardware, personnel, and more from physical hazards. Gumagamit sila ng mga remote na CCTV upang mas tumibay ang seguridad ng isang lugar. Ang physical security ay ang collection ng mga action na ginagawa upang protektahan ang kumpanya laban sa mga asset tulad ng pagkuha ng data, hardware, tauhan at iba pang maaaring magbigay ng panganib sa kumpanya. Yun lang, ma'am. Thank you po.